San Jose Sharks have made history. They're going to the Stanley Cup playoffs.
It's Tuesday, March 28th, 2017, and for the 19th time in their 26-year history, the San Jose Sharks are going to the Stanley Cup playoffs. Okay, so they didn't need for themselves to win, but they got one in a great, thrilling 5-4 overtime victory over the New York Rangers. This is Pucknology After Dark, and we will join our constituents in just a jiffy. But first, interact with us. And on this night, we welcome all kinds of comments using the hashtag PucknologyAD. You can also chat us on the YouTube chat, on the page, or on the app. You have tonight at PuckGuy14, at JAlexander46, at AJ_Strong, at KevinLacey22, and at RBackUnder76 in just a jiffy. We are your live interactive Sharks postgame show after every game. And for more news and opinions about your beloved Team Teal, visit Pucknology.net. You can also follow us on our social media channels at Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, SoundCloud, and the Pucknology Writers Room on YouTube. Hi, everybody. I am Eric Curry. You can follow me on Twitter at PuckGuy14. We'll get to the rest of the panel in just a jiffy, but we have Rocket Backhander inside SAP Center checking in. Rocket, take it away. How was the atmosphere tonight? You need to mute, hun.
She's muted.
All right. Well, that's cool because I just gave away like 6 winning lottery numbers and 1 bad one. So you.
Dang it!
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so here's what I saw tonight. Tonight was a really defensive-heavy game. Yeah, they haven't been on par this year that they were last year, but I think that the injury bug and especially the illness bug has struck a little bit harder this year than last year. Last year it was just Logan and Hurdle. This year it basically feels like everybody, and I'm glad that Melker's back. I missed him. I think everybody else missed him. Paul Martin didn't look like he was having a solid night. But everybody else, especially, I'm just a big fan of Brendan Dillon, but he was really laying the body hard into the Rangers, as was everybody else, I think. Patty had a great night. It's nice to see. And, yeah, I think it was a solid effort from the boys, except for the beginning of third period. I don't know what happened. Traditionally, this year, Sharks have not been a second-period team, so maybe that was kind of a glitch that the second period went so well. I don't know. But it was a good team, good effort. Go Sharks. That's all.
Now Eric is muted.
Exactly.
Dear God, nobody knows how to work in a fucking volume on this channel.
I swear to God, we make it to the playoffs and everybody forgets how to use the mute button.
Yeah.
I know. But Rocket, did they mention how they clinched on like the video board or anything tonight?
Yeah, they put up a little. I know that they made a GIF and they put it on their Twitter. And then during second intermission, they put the same little thing up that says that the playoff spot was clinched. I think it was during second intermission. But yeah, by first intermission, I'm pretty sure everybody knew about it.
By any chance, did they put up a graphic that tells people how to use the mute button on a YouTube hangout?
No, that's supposed to be installed about 4 or 5 days after all these LED boards are finished around here.
Oh,
so.
Right.
It's coming.
All right. Well, thank you, Rocket.
Yeah.
Thank you for checking in. Get home safely. Get home safely. Well, we'll try to at least, my dear. We want you in one piece. All right. Rocket Backhander checking in from the Shark Tank. As we bring in... Good night, Rocket. Take care, my dear. As we bring in Kevin Lacey.
Hey, guys. How's it going? Thanks for having me on. I'm at Kevin Lacey 22. You know me from the Writers Room and being a loudmouth on Twitter.
Also joining us tonight, it's the return of the fellow Notch Bro, Gentry Alexander.
What's going on, jerks? Yeah, I'm back. Just trying out this new rig. Hopefully it works well.
Sound pretty good. The video quality looks excellent too, by the way.
Thank you.
And we start off initial thoughts with the man, AJ Strong.
What's up?
What's that?
What's that?
So the Sharks win 5-4 over the Rangers. Hoy, that was a roller coaster of a game. So Kevin, I'll start with you. Your initial thoughts on the Sharks ending, thank God, their 6-game losing streak.
As Randy Hahn once said way back in like 2002, the drought is over. So
What happened to that mute button?
Oh.
No, it was. I actually really liked how the Sharks played tonight. I thought they really brought, even when they were trailing there in the third period, their competitive spirit really kicked in. Whereas over the weekend, it was non-existent. Really liked the effort, and I do want to just say, Chris JWS, friend and panelist on After Dark, he posted on Twitter earlier saying, you got to start trending up before the results show up. Well, tonight we saw them trend up and get a victory. Way to go, Sharks.
Excellent. Gentry, your thoughts as we win tonight.
I like the start of the game. This is pretty much kind of like this whole game. This is a microcosm of how I feel about the Star Wars series. Started off great, then we had those shitty prequels, and then we got the Force Awakened, and hopefully we'll see the last cup ever. So I'm glad to see that the fourth line came through. That was a nice little surprise. So go Tierney. I'm rooting for you.
Absolutely. Tierney with a great night tonight. AJ?
Well, it took overtime after it was 3-1. But the Sharks figured out a way to get this after shitting the bed 6 games in a row. And it speaks volumes that they did it against the best road team in the NHL. Yeah, the Rangers, 27 road wins. And the next closest, Chicago at 23. So, I mean, that does say a little bit, especially with Couture being out. Of course, because Couture was out, that means the Sharks won in the face-off circle tonight, of course. But I just hope this is the start of something good, and it gets the Sharks trending back into the right direction. Tierney with 2 tonight. Burns finally back on the sheet after, not scoring in this calendar month. So let's just, come on, man.
Let's go, as one former goal song would suggest. This one was a crazy one, up and down, and let's break it down. It started off well. The Sharks got off to a great start early on with Yannick Hansen scores his first goal as a San Jose Shark from Hurdle and Bodker early at 1:44 to make it 1-0. I kind of liked this line of Hurdle, Bodker, and Hansen, Kevin. It just seemed like they had a little bit of gelling going on.
They looked really good. I liked the kind of balance of everything. You got Bodker with his speed and, like to think, his scoring touch. Hurdle with solid board work, his strength, and his playmaking ability. And yes, I know my hair is like a total mess now. And then Hansen, of course, is just kind of a jack of all trades. So very nice line tonight. I actually thought they were extremely noticeable in positive ways, and anything to spark Bodker is a good thing.
Absolutely.
Dude, I'm just looking at Lacey's. Actually, Rocket just tweeted me, and she said she just saw Lacey's haircut.
Well, everyone in the chat was complaining that I'm too cool for turtlenecks now, so I put the turtleneck on, but now my hair is a mess.
Yeah, but now we're seeing the hair, and Rocket just...
The fuck, bro?
Right?
That's just messed up.
I know.
But
you look like a young Tim Burton.
Jeez. Hey, nice jersey there, bud.
Thank you. I just want to say that since I acquired this jersey, the Sharks are now 1-0.
Oh, jeez. All right, moving onward. JT Miller beat Martin Jones at 13:30 from Pumple to tie the game up. However, the Sharks took a penalty, and then Melker Carlson, welcome back, bud. We've missed you. Shorthanded goal from Vlasic and Braun to make it 2-1 with just a tick under 2 minutes to go in the period. Gent, what did you think of the Milkman tonight in his return?
Oh my God, he was a sight for sore eyes. We needed the Milkman back because apparently this team needs some bones, some backbone structure, some strongness in there because this last 6 games it's just been kind of lackluster. And so I think if you get a shorthanded goal, you should win that game if you get a shorty. And if you, for some happenstance, score on the power play, you should win a game. But I liked it. It was a nice burst of speed, and clearly Lundqvist hasn't fully recovered from that hip, injury that he suffered last month or earlier this month. So showing some fatigue there, but give it up for the Milkman. What a sweet setup.
Yeah. AJ, what did you take from the lines tonight? It was very interesting lines that I thought looked. Actually, I kind of liked them. You had LeBanc with the Joes. Marlowe was centering Wardo and Melker. You had Hurdle between the Danes, Bodker and Hansen. And then as we head into second period, Chris Tierney, who scored a goal at 11:38, had Timo and Donskoy.
No, it was fun. It was if PDB said, "Okay, guys, everybody jump on a line with guys that you've never skated with before, and let's just go." I mean, yeah, okay, we've seen LeBanc with the Joes a couple times here and there, but for what, 6, 7 games tops? But the second, third, and fourth lines, it's like, oh, the line blender was in full effect tonight, and it got them a win. So I fully expect to see this up in Alberta on Thursday. I expect to see the exact same lines. Would not surprise me in the least.
Yeah, and Tierney with a nice shot makes it 3-1. You're thinking, all right, these guys are rolling, good job, and then
hey, Puck guy, the
Yes?
screen seems to be stuck on Gentry, so
Good.
I mean, his camera is really sharp, and the orange jersey and all, but we're here too, man.
All right,
You know what? I think I have officially taken over Pucknology, and welcome to my hour. Join me.
Hold on. Do I need to go put on something orange in order to? Do I have to get something to orange to get on this fucking show? Is that
I
what it
was
is
actually
now?
thinking of putting my orange jersey on as well.
All right. Okay. All right. Let Gentry and Eric talk for a moment, and Lacey and I are going to go orange. We'll be right back.
All right, you guys go orange. I'll just reveal the teal from 1994.
No.
Yes. Oh my God, you guys are actually terrible. All right, well, apparently it's just you and me, Notch Bro. So as we continue on, Derek Stefan from Zuccarello and Shell.
Yeah, you talk about a player that is currently on fire right now. Zuccarello has been putting up points like a madman for like the past couple weeks, and you know what? The Rangers still are. I don't know what it is about them, but I'd be afraid to face them in round 1, even if you are the first seeded team, because if you do that, the East right now is so crazy, and it's
total chaos.
It's a total chaos. Exactly. The standings right now are they don't do that conference justice. I mean, the Rangers are in a wild card spot right now, and then you've got Toronto in a 3rd seed right now. I mean, it's ridiculous. If I was in the Eastern Conference, I'd try my best not to avoid the Rangers in the first round.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, no, the Rangers in a wild card spot is not necessarily a bad thing because they would have to cross over to that division.
Sorry, guys. Best I can do. Best
I
I can do,
actually
man.
grabbed my Giants jersey and then I was like, wait a minute, wrong sport. But hey, that works.
Best I could do, guys. It's close enough, man.
Oh my gosh, you guys are crazy.
That goal was awesome, though. You were talking about with Stepan. Sorry.
Stefan, yeah.
That goal was great. What a pass.
No kidding. That was a craziness. So that made it 3-2 going into the third period, and then you have the proverbial, oh, that's a backbreaker at the end of the period. You don't want to give up another one that started the period. Yeah, the Sharks did. Jesper Faust, his sixth from the Lacey, you're gonna have to correct me on the pronunciation.
Oh, you got it right.
Shell.
Oh, Brady Shea?
Brady Shea. Sorry,
Okay.
Shea. Sorry. From
I was going to
Shea
say, you got
Hayes.
Faust, right?
Yeah, I got Foss. I was going to say Shea. My bad. My apologies to the Raiders fans out there. From Shea and Hayes at 124 to tie the game up at 3-3. And then JT Miller's second of the game from Shea and Hayes to make it 4-3 on the power play. Yeah, let's talk about those penalties really quick, AJ. Those, I wasn't quite sold on those.
Sorry, got a cough.
Yeah. What did you take from those iffy calls, including the interference from Tierney, the quote-unquote embellishment on Zibanejad, and then just a few seconds later, Burns tripping up Hayes?
I think AJ stepped away.
Oh, well then, Kevin, go ahead.
I'm sorry, I had to go mashup, right?
That's actually what I thought you were going to go
There
get.
you go.
I had to go mashup.
But Kevin, I'll go to you.
Okay, I was going to say, Baker and Hahn on the broadcast were talking about how is that interference? I thought that was textbook. I don't know how that was embellishment, to be honest. Zibanejad's looking one way, and Tierney just comes in and blindsides him. However, boy, where was the embellishment there on, I don't know, was it Kevin Hayes or Jimmy Vesey, I think? Because that was not a trip by Burns whatsoever. Minnesota Wild just scored?
No. I had the video go for the intro, and all of a sudden the next video played. Sorry, my bad.
Okay.
Moving onward. So the Sharks are down 4-3 until Chris Tierney, the Cobra, sticks a venom into Lundqvist again from Hansen and Bodker in the middle of a line change, it seems like, with his ninth to tie it at 4-4. AJ, the Cobra, with 2 goals tonight.
Yeah, and you gave away your stick at the end of the game, you dumbass. The hell, man? Dude, you notched 2 goals tonight, you give your stick away to somebody? What the fuck is wrong with you, man? Come on. But hey, we got a lot of we've been talking about it for I don't know how long, that lack of secondary scoring, not getting anything from the bottom 6. Hell, not getting anything from anybody for the last 6 games, let's be honest. So nice to see that the line blender worked tonight at 4th line. Even if we see Haley is obviously good to come back in the next game. I don't know that we're going to see him. I don't think it's worth having him come back. I think we need skill against Edmonton and Calgary, not, a thumper. So
Yeah, and we'll touch down that just iffy, because like I said, I love these lines tonight, and I think it worked really well. So both teams get a point, with the point that the Rangers they clinched the playoff spot. The Sharks had already clinched one during the game when Edmonton beat LA. It actually clinched playoff spots for Anaheim, the Sharks, and the Oilers. But at 3:10 of overtime on the power play. Yes, a power play goal. We scored another power play goal. And the schneid is over for Burnsy. Gentry. Burnsy's 28th on the year, and it sends everybody happy home.
I was just kind of confused because I felt like I saw this goal before.
You did.
I felt like, but it was against another team that was red.
Yeah.
I felt like I was watching a rerun of a previous Pucknology or a previous game, because but it was a nice textbook. What is it? The spotter special type
Really?
of thing that they have set
I
up.
think that's what they called it.
Yeah, they call it-
I thought I was watching every Washington Capitals power play ever.
Yeah.
yeah.
That's true too.
I mean, it's one more 8 on the jersey that's doing the firing from that circle. So, I mean, I thought it was great, and I thought it was a great way for Brent Burns because, good God, that guy had been on a, goalless night for what?
It was his 16th
February
games without a goal.
Yeah,
Yeah, February 18th.
I think if you can get Brent Burns going, getting the points and getting goals back up onto the scoreboard, what you're going to see is the Sharks starting to improve slowly. And God, please let this happen, especially for the next 2 weeks. Just for fantasy reasons. I need Brent Burns and Pavelski to do work for me.
No, I like Sleepy Mopo in the chat saying, "Holy crap! All this orange, is this a tribute to Donald Trump?" No, if this is a tribute to Donald Trump, the Sharks would have won $1.5 million to nothing tonight.
That's right. No, if we're gonna do an orange tribute tonight,
I mean, the game was a massive sellout tonight. It was the best crowd ever.
Minnesota scored again.
I fear we've gone off the deep end again.
Hey.
But the line that did the most damage tonight would have been the top line for the Barracuda, which would have been Tierney, Donskoy, and Timo Meyer. So hey, that's what I'm saying.
hey, the best part is that you got secondary scoring all around tonight, folks. You got 2 goals from Tierney. You got Hansen with a goal and an assist. Like I said, really like that third line with Bodker, Hurdle, and Hansen. I'm not sure why I hear myself, but they look really solid tonight, along with Carlson. Carlson on the second line with Marlowe and Ward. I mean, if it ain't broke, don't fix.
No, I'm hoping that Hurdle can continue with his newfound renaissance now as a center. I don't want him as a winger, up on the line with the Joes. I kind of think that the LeBanc does really good up there. I think you should kind of keep that together. He's a natural for that type of line because he's quick and he can get the puck off quickly, which is something I think the Joes line really needs right now. And also you'd have Hurdle. He's a big guy. He can go drive the net, and why not?
What was the question?
Oh, how I like these lines.
Yeah,
I'd still like to see Carlson with the Joes.
I agree.
So you would flip Carlson with LeBanc onto the second line?
Yep.
Oh, yep.
Okay, I could see that.
I mean, it's proven. It's a proven line before because Carlson did work on the Joes during our forgotten year in which we didn't make the playoffs.
I don't remember that too well.
No, I don't. I think it was right after this time where I don't know if we played in an outdoor game. I wasn't sure. Did we?
Well, Rob on the chat is asking, do they try LeBanc on the power play? They did. He took Couture's spot tonight.
Yes.
And he looked good. He was winning puck battles. It was just
because for the first time in forever, people went, "Oh crap! The Sharks aren't doing what they normally do on the power play. What the hell is this?"
Who was it? Jessica Gata in the chat saying, "Wish Haley would stay out." Now that's the one curious thing here. Keep the lines the same for the next game. But at the same time, when you've got Zach Cassian and Matt Hendricks and a bunch of other jabronis on the fourth line running around doing cheap shots,
true too.
Do you put Haley back in?
Yes.
See, I don't. I stick. You know what? Like I said, I'll play the PDB game and stick with what's working right now. And for those of you just tuning in, we're all wearing teal. Your monitors are just really fucked up right now.
Oh, jeez. If you are just joining us, welcome to Pucknology After Dark. After a 5-4 Sharks win over the Rangers, do us a favor, make sure you subscribe down below or to the side and enjoy the show. And please tell everyone. Looks like we got 46 viewers so far. Keep telling everyone. We appreciate it. So now you get into this group. Now, wait, I'll ask this. So if you want to put Haley back in, you're going to put him on the fourth line. Who's sitting out?
Meyer?
Meyer or Todd Sky?
Probably Meyer, just because Meyer's kind of a heavy guy too. I mean, so at least he plays that way with the CUDA. So
yeah, I mean, I think that Meyer is too untrustworthy to take stupid penalties over Haley, which is amazing to say. But I actually think Haley's pretty responsible. He's just, he pushes.
I mean, here's the thing about Haley: just don't hit him in the back of the jersey,
right?
Sucker punch you,
right?
Other than that, he's pretty effective. He's a good guy. He can work the boards very well because he's huge, and he's got a pretty good pass, and he's set up a couple of one-timers very well. On the fourth line with those guys, and it's somebody that you don't want to mess with. Obviously, I mean,
Yeah.
2 hits. He hit him, and he hit the floor.
Mm-hmm.
But then again,
Yeah.
But then again, I mean, if you were to go after, Yonkirk's finger and then mangle it, he probably would have gotten no suspension for it whatsoever.
That wasn't, as we talked about on Writers' Room on Sunday, though. That was just circumstance to me.
You know what, though? After he had that hellacious finger issue and he's been out, how has Carlson done without his buddy? Has anybody seen?
Who's his buddy?
Mark Mathot.
Yeah, Mathot. With Mathot going out with the finger problem, how has Carlson done now without his normal
I
partner?
don't know. Has Ottawa even played?
Eric Carlson.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Didn't mean to confuse you all.
There's 2 Carlsons. Damn Swedes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Interesting. I don't recall.
I don't know if Ottawa's even played since then.
Yeah, they played today. I think they won an OT. Let me check.
Yeah, they lost in a shootout, actually.
Yeah, okay. Oh, they lost in the shootout. Yeah.
Yeah.
But speaking of OT, you guys were talking about Brent Burns getting off the schneid. Nice to see that he now holds the Sharks franchise record for most goals by a defenseman in one season. He's only been waiting a month for this, but it finally happened. Way to go, Burnsy.
Yes.
Hopefully,
Carlson did get a goal tonight.
Oh, sure.
I'm hoping that, like I said, I think you need to see guys slowly get off the schneid, because
Absolutely.
the past 8 games it's kind of been like hit or miss as to who's doing what. I think if you start seeing, if they could tighten up the defensive game and get their offense back, and hang on, who are they facing next?
Edmonton.
Hold on. And Rob in the chat saying that he would start Aaron Dell versus the Oilers, which my response is, you're clearly drinking something far better than what I'm having right now, buddy.
Yeah. No. Jones can start.
Well, here's a question with Joner. Let's in 4 goals tonight. Do you see him playing the rest of the string if there's a division title on the line? I'll start with you, Gentry.
No, I still think you give him rest. I still think you give Dell another chance, because one bad game is not going to, it shouldn't, dismantle everything that Dell has done, as a backup. I feel like he should have gotten more starts this season. I feel like it took a while, for the organization and the coaching staff to slowly warm up to him. But I don't think one bad game, because, the whole team played crappy that game, and it wasn't, and Dell, there was only one bad thing from Dell. I think it was the defense that kind of left him hanging in that Dallas game. So other than that, I still think you start with you ride it, but go with Dell, during the course of that stretch, because Jones is going to need the rest.
Kevin, what would you say? You
Jones either gets Dell either gets a start Friday against Calgary, or one of the Vancouver games. Other than that, I think Jones plays this laid out regardless of what happens in the standings. Especially, it would make sense to have Dell start that last game of the season, but it wouldn't because that's 5 days off after the season ends for Jones if he doesn't start Saturday, the 8th. So Dell probably gets one more start. Jones plays the rest.
AJ?
I give Dell at Calgary and home against Vancouver. That's what I would do. I don't give a shit about a Pacific Division title. It certainly didn't matter last season. So, yeah, I don't care about. We know what happens to teams who go to chase stuff like that. It does, to chase a regular season banner, it means nothing. And for you asking in the chat, Skylar, this would be an Anchor Steam Giants sponsored beer.
Gotcha. All right. So the Sharks have clinched a playoff spot. They're 19th of the year. Of their existence, not of the year. That would have been amazing. But if you are wanting to go to round one, get your tickets now. They go on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. At Ticketmaster.com/San Jose Sharks or at 1-800-745-3000. Of course, very important to note here, due to limited supply, only 8 tickets per order. 8 tickets per order.
Dude,
yeah. Only 8. Seems like just last season it was 6. Oh, that's because it was. No. Clearly, Sharks, I love you guys. You gotta come back to earth with these ticket prices, man, and with what's going on. I honestly. Look at, they even got the pick a seat thing happening like in a week or so, and if you go to the pick a seat thing, they'll give you tickets to a CUDA game for nothing if you just show up to like look at seats. I mean, they're just pricing themselves out. Tonight the Rangers, tons. You could have gone to tonight's game on StubHub, $21. You could have Ticketmaster, I saw like row 13 for $26 on Ticketmaster. I mean,
and I would have done that too if it wasn't a Tuesday game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because I love seeing the Rangers play.
Right. Well, and one of the reasons probably why it was that cheap is because 6-game skid on a Tuesday, all that. The Sharks are just pricing themselves out. Honestly, I think the Sharks really need to maybe consider the whole dynamic pricing, and I understand that they already kind of do that, but I think maybe they need to take it a step further and just kind of it's, end of the season and the New York Rangers, and you would think that the Rangers would draw a little bit better, but
the Rangers usually have a lot of visiting fans, though.
Yes, they usually do, but Tuesday night, say Columbus is here. Just maybe you have like a limited, maybe you have 200 seats that you put up for $15 or something in the authentic fan section or something. And then when it's Detroit on a Saturday, maybe some seats are a little bit more, I don't know. They have to do something because it's ludicrous that they're raising prices when they have this many seats going. Now, I know that they sit there and go, those tickets, technically those tickets are sold or whatnot. Still, when you look at the game on TV and you see swaths of empty seats and you look on StubHub and see that you can go for $21, it doesn't scream sellout.
By the way, how do you guys know what the attendance was for tonight? Because listening to the game on TV,
1.5 million for Donald Trump.
It sounded, though, like a pretty lively crowd, which was nice to hear through the TV speakers. But I was curious to know how the attendance actually was. I'm guessing not great if there were tickets for $21.
Well, Rocket's saying there were Rangers fans did show up tonight. So I guess it was the Sharks fans that didn't show up tonight.
Oh.
And Gen X saying $6 for 200 level for the Hurricanes. And you know what, though? It's going to come down to that. I mean, the Sharks need to come back down to earth. I cannot believe that they are raising prices next year. And some of the seats, what is it? Some of the glass seats that are $135 are going to be like $300, $400 next year.
Yeah, and looking into the Ticketmaster site for the playoff tickets, looks like the range will be from $65 to $330 for round one.
And Rock is saying they did announce a sellout tonight, but I saw a lot of empty seats.
Okay. By the way, since you guys are talking about tickets, Barracuda playoff tickets, to my knowledge, are actually dropping in price. Because as I've said on Writers' Room several times, the Barracuda
I thought they announced that they were going up.
But to my knowledge, because I know the Barracuda have the third most expensive tickets in the AHL, which is preposterous. But from what I've seen, those $75 glass seats are dropping to like 52 or something for the first round of the playoffs. So,
well, maybe some other. Well, oh no, I had heard next season tickets like season tickets. You could get like season tickets for like $100 this year, and next year those season tickets are going to be like $225.
it depends on the circumstance. From what
as in how many empty seats are there?
No. I think there are still some plays for $100 next season, but I'm talking about playoffs. The playoffs this season. Hey, if you guys want to, if the Sharks, end up disappointing everything, go see the Barracuda because you'll be impressed. You'll have a good time. Well,
and Mr. Cuda in the chat saying $250. So yeah, so the Cuda tickets. So honestly, I don't know what the hell the franchise is. I mean, Sharks, I love you. You got to come back down to earth with these ticket prices, man. It's just
I'm looking at
insane.
Ticket prices right now for Fan Appreciation Night, and the cheapest one I found on Ticketmaster is $84, and that's for row 19
in the upper bowl.
Yep.
Well, and then of course, but that is dynamic pricing. How much is it for Thursday against Edmonton? That's going to be a little bit different. Of course, they're going to dynamically price Fan Appreciation because the Burns bobblehead. We all saw what dynamic pricing did for the Warriors jersey giveaway and the Giants jersey giveaway and so on.
Tickets starting for that game are $24.
There you go. See? Exactly my point.
Oh, man, that's crazy. But nonetheless, the mission for the double now begins. Sharks have clinched. Actually, the mission for the triple, to be honest. Sharks have clinched. Barracuda have clinched. The Allen Americans clinched. I think it's only happened one time in the last 20-some-odd years that an organization has won the Stanley and Calder Cup at once altogether in the same year. I really having a tough time to figure out if a team has won the Stanley Cup, the Stanley Cup, the Calder Cup, and the Kelly Cup. I almost said the Allen Cup because the Allen Americans just own the East.
Because they're the most winning franchise for the Sharks ever. So good for them.
Yes. So should be quite interesting down the road, and we'll keep an eye on it because that's what we do here at Pucknology.
And so I think coming up next on the next Pucknologist, as soon as we can do it, an interview with Flavel. Not John, but Flavel, because evidently he's the one that sets the prices. So we need to have a talk with Mr. Hampstead. Thank you very much.
Yes, that will be quite interesting. Speaking of quite interesting, let's go around the league. We had 11 games in the NHL tonight. Winnipeg, unfortunately, was eliminated tonight. Despite a 4-3 shootout win over the New Jersey Devils.
I'm sorry, did you say we were going around the league?
Yes.
Nice. I do believe that deserves a horn.
JETS, just end the season.
Oh, ouch. Nashville lost a tough one, 4-1 to Boston, as Boston tries to stay in the hunt to get a top 3 Atlantic Division spot. Moving onward, we mentioned this earlier, but the Flyers beat the Senators in a shootout 3-2.
Tommy Wingles, no goals, no assists, no nothing. 10 minutes of ice time.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, but I don't think he's going to get the same book deal that John Scott did. He won't get the same one.
In Columbus, the Blue Jackets try to keep their Metropolitan Division hopes alive with a 3-1 win over the Buffalo Sabres. In Toronto, Austin Matthews breaks the Maple Leafs rookie record by scoring his 35th goal this season in a 3-2 win over the Panthers.
I hear they're already scheduling the parade for Saturday.
Oh, yes. They are getting really excited up in Toronto about making the playoffs. One of their opponents could be the Montreal Canadiens, who beat the Dallas Stars 4-1.
At least somebody can beat those guys.
Yes. In a what could be a potential Cup final preview, the Washington Capitals beat the Minnesota Wild in overtime 5-4.
Capitals in the Stanley Cup or the Stanley Cup Finals. They'd have to make it past the second round.
Ouch. Ouch. Edmonton clinches their first playoff spot in 11 years with a 2-1 win over Los Angeles. For the Kings, they're in deep doo-doo, and we'll show the standings in just a second.
In other words, in that game, a former Sharks coach team beat another former Sharks coach team.
Yes.
Sharks on Sharks violence at its finest.
Yes. Unfortunately for Sharks fans and Oilers fans, the Anaheim Ducks beat the Vancouver Canucks 4-1. And mainly noteworthy because of what happened to it, Drew Weber's Carolina Hurricanes, they are still trying to hang in there in the playoff race. They beat the Detroit Red Wings 4-1, and Detroit has been officially eliminated from the playoffs for the first time in 25 years.
For the first time since the Sharks came into the league.
Exactly.
Crazy.
It's crazy to see that.
Embrace the rebuild, Red Wings. Embrace it.
How much you guys want to bet that they magically get the top pick in the draft?
I don't know. I'm just waiting for him to trade Zetterberg right now. Just like move everybody.
I'm surprised we haven't heard more about that since all we ever hear about is Shane Doan's getting traded. Yeah, he's not getting traded. I'm surprised Zetterberg doesn't get put on there from time to time, even though he won't be traded either.
No.
So, as of this moment, here's the Pacific Division standings. Anaheim sits on top at 95. San Jose and Edmonton are tied at 93, but San Jose has 3 more
rows.
Thank you. So that's a huge thing down the line. If the Sharks can perhaps tie Anaheim for the division lead, the Sharks would get the first tiebreaker there. Edmonton's at 93. Calgary is at 90 as they continue to hang in there at the top spot. LA is clinging to dear life right now. They are just about on the verge of being out. At 77 points, they're looking at a max of 91, so they would literally be fighting for the number 2 wild card at this moment. Vancouver at 69, and the Desert Dogs are at 63.
Oh, did somebody say Desert Dogs?
Yes.
Hey, now.
No, I still, at this point, I think that the Kings are out of it because the second wild card position belongs to St. Louis, and they have 88 points. So that's, an 11-point gap between the two, and with 7 games remaining. So it would take a 7-game losing streak or a 6-game losing streak for the St. Louis to lose their spot, and then the Kings to somehow everybody in the Pacific would just have to start losing.
Yeah,
all at once, and I don't see that happening.
Yeah, you pretty much hit that right on the head as we look at the Western Conference race now as a whole. In the Central, Chicago looking to lock up home ice as Minnesota got a point, but now they sit 7 back with 6 to play. Nashville lost tonight, so they stick at 89. Calgary is at 90 with 6 to play. The Blues do have a game in hand pretty much on everybody but the Kings that are still in playoff contention at 88 points.
It's going to be a lot of fun to see the Blues and the Preds just fight for that spot in the Central.
They'll fight to see who wants to play Chicago. The Kings pretty much have a maximum of 91, and if I do my math correctly, let's see where the.
I got to tell you though, if you throw that graphic back up, I'd totally be down with like if the playoffs started today. I'd totally be down. Calgary versus Anaheim, yes sir. Sharks versus Edmonton, yes sir. Blues versus Chicago, oh yeah. Those would be some great matchups.
I'll throw it back up here really quick. Pretty much the next win for St. Louis puts them at 90, and they would have the road tiebreaker over Los Angeles. So, in other words, Los Angeles can't give up any more points. They would need to win out and pretty much hope that St. Louis gets no more than 3 overtime/shootout losses.
When was the last time we saw the Western Conference playoff race end this quickly?
And to think that 3 playoff spots were clinched tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think even Minnesota's clinched as well. So you have 5 teams already in, and now it's just jockeying for position, pretty much.
Big time. And hey now, whoa.
The dream is over.
My beer, in fact, is empty. So this episode of AJ Going to Get a Refill is brought to you by Kevin Lacey wanting to talk prospects and Barracuda.
Really quickly, the AHL out-of-town scoreboard. I'm only going to mention 2 games here.
Wait, there's actually games this time.
Yeah, there's actually games this time, but I'm only going to talk about
thanks.
2 of them relating to the Barracuda. The Stockton Heat basically unofficially eliminated the Texas Stars from playoff contention with a 4-1 victory. The Heat now are 2 points within a playoff spot after Bakersfield Condors lost to the Manitoba Moose 5-2. So right now it's kind of in limbo as long as the Barracuda keep doing their work as the number 1 team in the Western Conference. They'll be playing either Bakersfield or Stockton. Actually, even though Bakersfield is ahead in the standings, that's who I want to see them play because they have thrashed the Condors all season.
Good to know. As we kind of talk playoffs really quick, again, tickets go on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at Ticketmaster and such. Here's the other question that I have too. Basically, more so than anything, if the Sharks do get home ice for the first round, you're looking at a Wednesday-Friday start. The arena is pretty tight on the schedule. That first week of the Stanley Cup playoffs with the Barracuda finishing up the regular season and then a couple of extra events in there in between. So it looks more likely a Wednesday-Friday start. But something that Gentry mentioned...
Wait, what?
You're looking at a Wednesday-Friday start to the Sharks playoffs.
So you're saying Wednesday the 12th?
Wednesday the 12th, and likely Game 2 would be on the 14th if the Sharks get home ice.
And you do realize that both the CUDA are scheduled to play at the Tank on the 12th and the 14th, Wednesday and Friday.
They're scheduled to play on the 13th and the 15th, which is why I believe the Sharks will play the 12th and 14th.
Are you looking at last year's schedule?
No, I'm not looking at Hold on. Not looking at last year's schedule. I'm looking at the damn calendar that somebody gave me on here. And it says the 12th and the 14th. Okay.
Well, let me take a look at SAP Center because I saw Wednesday Friday was there.
That's what I saw also, Eric.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? Perhaps we have a trade to announce. The dates were traded.
Yeah, it looks like it. According to SAPcenter.com, the 2 games against Tucson are April 11th and April 13th.
Well, Jesus Christ. Well, that thing's trash now, isn't it?
Pretty much. But going to a question that Gentry was asking, and I'll start with you, Gent. Your ideal matchup for
in
the
the
Sharks
first
in that
round? Ooh, well, looking at who's in the standings and whatnot, if the Sharks were to get the first, the Pacific Division, I would love for them to go up against Calgary. But if the Sharks were to, by any chance, go to the number 2 seed, I wouldn't mind seeing an Edmonton, San Jose round 1. Mostly, I would like to see that because the storyline there would just be too good to ignore. You have the former coach going up against the team that fired him and went to the Stanley Cup final without him while he was rebuilding the Edmonton Oilers with Connor McJesus. So the storyline writes itself.
All right, so Gentry's ideal is Calgary. I'll go to Mr. Calgary here in San Jose, AJ Strong. Who would be your ideal opponent?
Anaheim. That's who I'd like.
Which is still is still a possibility.
Yeah, it's not out of the realm of possibility. Who is it more likely to be? Probably Edmonton. I don't know. I mean, if I could choose, it's going to be Anaheim. If you tell me that I have to pick one of the 2 Canadian teams, I'd probably go with Calgary, just because I'd get really fed up really quickly of hearing about Collar McBroken. Not to mention the fact of the just the back and forth of McClellan versus his old squad. I mean, that's going to be a talking point for until you want to puke with that. We all saw like what happened when. When Baltimore played the 49ers in the Super Bowl. It was 2 weeks of hearing about what, the 2 coaches. Yeah, exactly. The 2 brothers that were, I mean, that was just such a talking point that was so beaten into the ground after the first, hour and a half. So I'm afraid that they would bury that. I'd rather play Calgary, to be honest. I think Edmonton's a little hungrier, so I think the Sharks might do better against Calgary.
All right, Mr. Lacey?
Yeah, of the Alberta teams, I would pick Calgary over Edmonton. I mean, I don't know. Regardless, it's going to be a tough matchup either way. I don't like the idea of facing McJesus in round 1 because as inexperienced as that team is in the playoffs, that's just it. They're young kids. They'll be hungry. They'll be fresh. I think if they were a round 2 opponent, I think they'd be worn down, and the Sharks could handle them easily. Ideally, I want the Sharks to play Anaheim as well, though.
So you heard it here first. We all chose Calgary, which means the Sharks will face Edmonton in the first round.
Oh, that's true. Very, very true. So let's check out the chat.
You can count on that, and just like you can count on the early game going to overtime if the Sharks are playing a doubleheader on a nationally televised NBC Wednesday night rivalry game.
Yeah, and most likely how it'll work, nothing completely set in stone, but you get all the first round games on, well, it's going to be rebranded starting Sunday on NBC Sports California, powered by Xfinity. If you can never get that name longer enough, there you go.
Jesus Christ. It reminds me of Bill Walsh Field at 3Com Park at Candlestick Point.
Gosh, 3Com Park. Wow. Just looking over the ECHL playoff, why not? Talking about the Sharks versus Oilers, the Barracuda versus the Condors. I was just curious to see if the Allen Americans would play the Tulsa Oilers, but Tulsa has lost 8 in a row and has eliminated themselves from playoff contention. So,
yeah, that's too bad. Oh darn!
I'm surprised Tulsa just hasn't eliminated themselves from being a state altogether.
That would be the city though.
Or, excuse me, yes, city. You know what, though? Have you ever been to Oklahoma? Tulsa's pretty much it, buddy.
No, that's true.
And then, can I hat tip Vince G in the chat? He pointed out that, according to Elliot Friedman, the Sharks tomorrow will announce the signing of Union College defenseman Nick DeSimone to an entry-level deal.
Could certainly use the help.
Yeah.
Whoopity-doo. What does it all mean, Basil?
What's up?
Whoopity-doo. What does it all mean, Basil?
It all means that the Sharks will add some depth to the position they really need to do so, and that is defense. And I was trying to pull up Union College's stats because I don't think they were. I think they dropped off huge in the NCAA this year. But DeSimone was a plus 13. He had half a point per game, 19 points in 38 games for Union as a junior, and he's a right shot defenseman. So.
And Sleepy Mofo pointing out OKC. I forgot. Okay, they have a basketball team. Oh, good for them. I don't watch
Basketball's
NBA.
not a sport. We all know this.
Yeah, that's true. Hold on, wait. I wish Sharks would air a few games a year on free TV. What?
Like on KICU.
KICU.
Oh, yeah, but that's up to the local markets and everything like that. I mean, are you talking like the national game on like Sunday mornings once football goes off the air, perhaps?
Yeah.
I wish the Sharks would get highlights on the news networks for free TV. Yes, you, NBC 11.
Oh, they certainly will once on that day that the Warriors aren't playing.
Oh, okay.
They'll get like a good 20 seconds.
Oh, like tonight. Oh, by the way, the Sharks clinched the playoff spot. But hey, let's go check out the spring training highlights.
I mean, it's very fitting because we're all wearing orange. So, I mean, let's talk about the Giants.
Let's not. I'm a Giants fan. Let's not.
By the way, I will say this. If the Sharks do get home ice and they do start on Wednesday, April 12th, it'll be at the same time that the Warriors are playing their last home game of the season against the LA Lakers.
Don't you mean the Santa Cruz Warriors versus the Lakers? Because that's what it's going to end up being.
Oh, that's true. Very true.
It's embarrassed that I actually know
so much true. All the true.
All the truth.
So true.
Yes. So as we move on, we get ready for the Sharks to go on their last road trip of the regular season, a three game in 5 day sojourn as they hit Edmonton, Calgary, and Vancouver.
5 days. What fucking calendar are you looking at? 3 days and 4 nights, buddy.
Yeah.
3 games.
I think you're a week ahead.
3 games, 4 days.
See what happens when you wore your contacts way too long.
Oh, you must be using the same Barracuda calendar I was using.
That's what I was going to say.
So Thursday night they're in Edmonton, Friday night they're in Calgary, and Sunday late afternoon they are in Vancouver for hometown hockey.
I'm sorry, they're where on Sunday?
Vancouver. Oh, sorry. Vancouver.
That's for you, hockey jerky prick.
That's right. One of the few that's my John Shorthouse. So let's get ready for Edmonton. How huge is this game? AJ.
Every time you say Vancouver, I'm waiting for you to follow that up with "Hello, my baby. Hello, my honey."
Yes, that's right. I'm the WB frog.
Or be like, guys, it's not easy being teal.
Yes.
Oh my god! It's like we have both a frog and a turtle on this show. Oh yeah. Dude, I mean, you got 2 games each against 3 opponents over the next 6, and 2 of those teams you're fighting for playoff positioning. This is, we hate the term, but statement. This is the time to make a statement. This is the time to say, okay, these, aside from the New York game, and this New York game, not that great, blew a 3-1 lead, had to go to OT. So the last 7 games you have looked like dog shit. So you use this to turn around, get your shit together, make a statement against teams that you could potentially see in a week and a half when the playoffs start, or 2 weeks, sorry, when the playoffs start. Or do you continue to shit the bed and back into the playoffs not knowing what the fuck you're up to? So that's it's going to be
in 09.
Yes, sir. So there we go. That's what I want to see. I think they can go 4-2 over the 6 games. I think maybe they should win both the Vancouver ones. Maybe they split with Edmonton, split with Calgary. But make a statement, guys. Make a fucking statement.
4 wins would put this team at 101 points. Gentry is 101 points, good enough to have home ice in the first round, let alone possibly win the division.
Don't ask me math questions. I suck at those.
Okay.
But I'm gonna say that my guesses for the remainder of the season are as follows. I think they win against Edmonton, they lose against Calgary, they win against Vancouver on the road, they win on the road against Vancouver, they lose at home, and then they win against Edmonton and Calgary at home to finish off the season.
So you're going 4-2 as well.
Agree with that. Every game, I agree with all of those.
So in other words, they're going to go 1-5, and we're fucked.
And we play,
And we're starting on
and
the
we play
road in
Chicago.
Edmonton. Yeah, that's true too. I mean, let's be real here. You're looking at you're playing anybody in the Pacific that makes it, or Chicago.
Yeah.
So all right. With that, final thoughts, Gentry.
Good win. Not a great win, but a good win. We needed to get off the schneid. Glad to see the fourth line doing work and Burnsy getting off the schneid. So let's carry this momentum. Let's Pavelski, have a smile on your face during your interviews. Get out of your depression and let's go into some games so we can go into the playoffs, on a high note.
All righty, Mr. Lacey.
Lots of positives in this game, especially the scoring from the, not the biggest names outside of Brent Burns. Burns getting off the schneid is huge, but as I've been saying for a while now, when Brent Burns doesn't score, who is going to score? Tonight, at least tonight, we found out Tierney, Hansen, Carlson, you guys got the job done. Burns with the capitalizer. Let's keep it going, guys.
Yep. AJ?
3 things. First off, new Pucknologist should be bumped out late tomorrow night or early Thursday. Don't forget to follow at Chris JWS. He's putting together kind of a pizza beer thing. I'm not exactly sure what it's all about yet. Perhaps for the Vancouver game on Tuesday, maybe. I don't know. I know that they're doing a viewing party on Thursday for Edmonton. Oh, no, that's this Thursday, right?
That's this Thursday.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I don't know. Like I said, follow at Chris JWS. He'll have the stuff for that. And then finally, I've kind of thought about it a little bit while you guys are talking. I do want Edmonton versus the Sharks in the first round, but only if overtime games are decided by a ladder match between Randy and Drew at center ice. Then I'll do it. But other than that, yes, follow at Chris JWS, trying to put together like a little pizza and beer Pucknology get together thing where we all just hang out and have some pizza and beer and just hang out with everybody, and there you go.
Yep.
In fact, you know what? Like 5 of us will come and we'll all bring mega horns and we'll just do the shit live in the parking lot of someplace, and everybody can just show up. That sounds lame and retarded, right? Yeah, okay, there you go.
No, that sounds pretty cool. So, all right, with that, Sharks win 5-4 in overtime to the New York Rangers. They clinch a playoff spot. Tickets, again, do go on sale tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. So make sure you get your cards out ready to go. We'll be back with you Thursday night following Sharks and Oilers, another big matchup there. And so, for AJ Strong, Kevin Lacey, and Gentry Alexander, you 3 Buttes rocking the Barracuda Giants orange. I'm Eric Cura, revealing the teal. We will see you in the playoffs with playoff beards and such. And until then, keep it real, keep it fresh, keep it real fresh. We're going back to the playoffs.